everyone, my name is Linda and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited to share some tips and tricks with you about how you can really maximize your day so that you can get everything done. Many of the people that I speak to on a regular basis really talk about the challenges of getting everything that they need to get done in a day done. And for myself, being a business owner over the last several years, I've really had to learn the tips and the tricks to maximizing my day and prioritizing what I need to so that everything can get done. Currently at this time, I wear many hats. So not only do Jason and I have our financial brokerage, which we are so blessed and grateful to be able to run from our home office, it certainly helps make things a whole lot easier, but I'm also predominantly responsible for taking care of the home. And while Jason and I really share a lot of the responsibilities, his schedule is a little bit business heavy, which means that I have the opportunity to make sure that more of the house is running smoothly. So the first tip that I want to share with you, one that is a really big game changer for me, is every single day I start with a list. I believe that when you take all of the to-dos out of your head and put them onto paper, you're securing a few things. First, that you can make sure that you are staying focused on the things that matter the most. And I am just of the belief that there is a huge accomplishment that happens when we check something off. It's a sense of accomplishment. Another really important thing about the list, and I think this is what helps keep me and hopefully will help keep you sane, is I break up my list into three main categories. The first list is the absolutes. These are the things that no matter what, they need to be done today. This means that I'm able to really prioritize the things that are going to have the biggest impact on my day so that I'm not creating stress down the road. The second thing is my to-do list. These are the things that in the ideal day, these things are going to set me up for success. I want to get these done today. And then the third list are the would-be nice things. So these are the things that, if they don't get done today, it's not that big of a deal. They can get bumped a day or even two. But if all things go well, I'm still super motivated by the end of the day, and I can check a few of these off, it is a bonus. I chose to do this video today because today in particular is a pretty heavy to-do list day for me. When I break down my list, I typically write down everything that I need to get done. From there, I'm able to break it down into the three different categories so that I can make sure that I'm prioritizing what's really, really important. So for today, a few things that fall on my list in the absolutes would be that I need to order groceries and go pick them up. The next thing on my list is I've got a separate to-do list of just business things that need to get done today. So this is back-end administration stuff, follow-ups on specific client stuff that's been submitted. That is a separate list, but that in itself falls onto my list. And then the third thing that is a priority today is that I have a client appointment at 6 o'clock. So I need to make sure that that client file is put together completely. I give it a once-over review to make sure that nothing is missing. I do like to make sure that I review it the day of so that it's as fresh in my mind as possible going into that appointment. I tend to make sure that my absolute list only ever has about 3, maybe as many as 5 things on it. Because if you put too many things in your absolute list, it can be challenging to not get overwhelmed when it's like do or die things on your list. On my to-do list falls a few different things. First is laundry. Now that we are trying out our capsule wardrobes, there's a video on that, so definitely go and take a look at it if you haven't already. But we need to do laundry a little bit more often because we have less items of clothing hanging in our closet. The other thing that I have on here is to get at least one meal done. This will mean that supper is ready for tonight, and that could be lunch tomorrow. And then that gives me a little bit more time to get meals done either later in the day if I have time, or tomorrow during my lunch. Make some oat milk, do and or edit a video. So here I am getting one of my to-do list things done today, and then tidy the house. I don't have too many things today on my would be nice list. I do want to list and sell some of the things that we have on our balcony because we're not taking them with us. Our floors really need to be cleaned. They probably really could use a good vacuum and mop, but if it doesn't get done today, it can get done tomorrow, and that's totally fine with me. And then we also need new dog bowls. If I have time while I'm going to get groceries, then I will make a quick stop to grab that. After I create my list with my absolutes and my to-dos, another thing that I really like to do between those two portions of my list is to see what it is that I can check off really early, or which things require multiple steps to complete that I might be able to start right away so that I know it will get done in a day. For example, I have getting laundry done on my list today, which means I have to not only start the wash, but make sure it gets into the dryer and make sure that it gets folded. So first thing this morning, I was able to put a load in the wash to get things going for the day. Another area which I was able to do that was with grocery shopping. Not only do I need to go order groceries and pick them up, but I had no plan for the week. So this morning I had to plan out what our meals were, place the order, and thank goodness Walmart currently right now has 4-hour pickup. So I was able to place that order and then book in my schedule to go and pick it up before my appointment this evening. So I hope that you can see how I prioritize my list to make sure that I'm creating an optimal list of priorities so that when the day comes to a close, I feel satisfied with what I got done today. And I'm setting myself up for the next day, because whatever doesn't get done from my would be nice or my to-do can just get put onto tomorrow's list. Another really valuable tool to getting everything that I need to get done in a day is I make sure that I pre-plan the night before. What this means is I make sure that if there's anything that I can do the night before that will not take up time in today, I get it done. So for me, often things like that is starting the dishwasher and making sure that the kitchen is clean. Otherwise, when I wake up in the morning, that becomes a priority in my head and takes away time from the other things that I really actually need to get done in that day. I also think that if there's an opportunity to lay things out so that you're ready to go in the morning, that is also extremely beneficial as well. With pre-planning the day, I believe also comes pre-planning the week. If you have something that needs to be done by the end of the week, it may be most beneficial to book getting it done in the beginning of the week. This, for me, is really a way that I avoid procrastination or putting things off to the last minute. Because putting things off to the last minute might mean that everything else on your list for that day doesn't get done because you need to wrap up that one thing that you could have done earlier and didn't and put off to the end of the week. So I think it's just really important to always be thinking ahead at what you can get done earlier to make each and every single day run a little bit smoother. Now, don't get me wrong. There are always hiccups that are going to come up, and that is completely unavoidable. And I think that's where the next step comes in. The next step is honesty. I think it's really important that we be honest with ourselves about what we can actually get done in a day. Don't get me wrong, there are some days where I can get a lot done. And that really depends on what those a lot of things are in terms of what makes things run smoothly. But being honest with yourself about how many things can actually get done in your busy schedule is important, because things do come up and changes need to happen. So by making sure that your list is never crazy big, having that would be nice list to fill if you have more time really gives us the space to accomplish what we need to do, check those things off of our list, but also feel like at the end of the day, we actually accomplished what we need to do. We'll just let that siren go by. And the last step that I have on my list is to delegate, multitask, and let go of. So the first one being delegate. I think it's really important to accept when we no longer have the time to do what we need to do. If that means that you need to hire a cleaner to come by once a month to do a deep clean of your house so that you can focus more on your business or your children, then do that. Or if it means that you don't have the time to go into the grocery store, pick up your own groceries, and you want to do the click and collect, absolutely recommend it 100%. That's what we do. But finding different things in your life that you can simply pass on to someone else to do so that you can open up time in your schedule to do the things that are most important for you. Next is multitask. Now, I know that they say multitasking is not always productive. So I want to clarify, when I say multitasking, I mean getting a bunch of different things going at the same time. So if that means that you're starting a load of laundry, you're loading the dishwasher and starting it so that you can then get back to it later, and maybe at the same time you're running around and tidying the house, that's great. Another way that I multitask is that if I need to clean one bathroom, I'm gonna do both bathrooms. It's kind of like the principle of if you're going upstairs, to bring everything with you that needs to go upstairs. Though, I think it is also important to mention on the point of multitasking that when it comes to those absolute things, sometimes you just need to put your head down and get them done. And then the last one mentioned is to let go. There sometimes comes a point where there are things on your would-be nice list that have just been hanging out there for a while. There have been times where my would-be nice list has gotten really, really long. And I think there comes a moment where you just need to take a look at that list and decide what you're just gonna have to simply accept is not getting done anytime soon. This doesn't mean that it might not end up on your would-be nice list down the road, but accepting that right now it is just so far not a priority that it just doesn't need to be on your list staring at you any longer. The next tip that I want to share, I believe, is a lot more focused towards people who have multiple hats. Whether it means that maybe you have a full-time job during the day and you've got your business or side hustle in the evening, this is something that's been tremendously valuable for me in terms of not only staying motivated, but also creating a routine that really works. I call it 2 days in one. I heard this concept originally from Ed Milet. He does 3 days in one, and that hasn't just worked in my schedule. If it works with you, absolutely check that out and do that. But I run my days 2 days in one most of the time. So what that means for me is that from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. is one day for me. This will be my work day. This is where I get business stuff done. This is where the work I do with the broker I work with happens. That is one day for me. And I know that only certain things can be scheduled within this time. And then next is from 4 o'clock until bedtime, we'll call it. In that second day, this is where I'm able to prioritize other things like evening appointments, things that I need to get done around the house. Quality time with Jason typically gets booked in my day 2. And what this allows me to do is to create, if need be, 2 separate lists for each day so that I can make sure that I'm most productive, but that I'm also focusing on what needs to be done earlier in the day and in the evening. Now you'll notice that leaves between 3 and 4 o'clock blank. What I do is I use that hour to decompress, reset my mind, do a meditation, take a nap, whatever I need to do to make sure that I'm ready to go into my day 2. This strategy always works a little bit different for each individual person, but I find it incredibly helpful for me as someone who has work commitments during the day, a business to run in the evening, and a home to run throughout all of that. My biggest hope is that this video will help you create optimal motivation and productivity in your day as you balance all of the plates that you need to. In today's day and age, it is not unusual for someone to have to wear many hats, whether it be that they have a job, still run a house, maybe they've got children, they've got a business on the side, or they're just in a desperate need to prioritize themselves and their self-care. It's important that those things also make the to-do list in every single person's day. So please take a moment, share with me the things that really help you make your day the most productive and how you have been able to work your schedule in a way that works for you, because I love being able to hear, implement, and share new ideas with everyone. Also, please take a moment to hit the like button, subscribe, and follow along with me on all the adventures yet to come. You all mean the absolute most to me, and every single subscribe, every single like, every single comment truly warms my heart, and I'm so excited to build this community with all of you. See you in the next one. Bye.